So here is my ink part of the sketchbook, especially for the Veronica Lawlor workshop.
Coming up with ideas, I'm just designing. So accuracy is not necessarily important. It's what are the directions and what are the feelings. And again, I'm using my line and my shapes in a directional way. If I really, let's go for it, put this giant column right there. That's sort of interesting, and then just this side of this here. Now I've got these two windows where I can really put all this other stuff in here and let things go behind shapes, right? And then if I move it, she pulls into my picture. Back of her head right there. Hi. Thank you for posing. Right? And now she's also in my picture. So, I mean, it's this sort of idea really opens things up. I can look here, I can look down, I can walk all over the place, and just very quickly come up with a lot of pictures, so that when I decide, okay, I'm going to sit here and make my drawing, I've really explored what's around. As opposed to, and I've experienced it too, where you sit down and you make a drawing, and then the sun goes down, and you're walking home and you see something else, and you go, ah, damn it, why didn't I draw that?
It was really interesting too. That I am used to sketch with watercolor, but I wanted to work on my ink approach, my lines approach too. So that's why I chose her workshop too. And I really like this idea that our sketch is in a box.
Well, here we are. I mean, I wish Brangwyn was in this workshop. I'd love to see what And again, he's creating this scale. And if you notice, he definitely uses people as a point of reference. I mean, I think as we continue drawing today, this idea of scale is something we can really start to play with here. And, don't hesitate to exaggerate also. I mean, something about once you start thinking in terms of shapes like this and manipulating, you can really manipulate them. You can distort, you can extend on things, you can pull things up and out. Oh, look at that. And sometimes that little bit of exaggeration or distortion can really become the lie that tells the truth. Something about, if I draw it exactly, you'll know what I saw. If I really push on it, you'll know what I felt.
You don't want only to sketch the faraway flat side, but all the box, all the sides all around, and to give depth to the sketch using all the things that are around you.
All right, so if I'm just drawing here, well, first of all, this thing up here makes this great entrance. Look how that just comes right down into my picture. Right? Sort of interesting. Oh, now this little guy right there showed up. I can move this into here, and then I've got this great archway over here. Let's just do that. Some texture to do that. Right. So as soon as I start to do that, immediately your focus is going to go there, right? And I might even want to use my line here to direct you toward it. And again, I'm going to let the line go behind the shape. Suddenly I'm looking here, and then again I can create this movement of texture. So even as I'm working, I can say, all right, I want you to focus here. Look. That's my main event. And then maybe I want to just come around here and just draw the end of this. So just sort of let things continue to grow and move out. And then if I turn around, oh, there you are.
So we had to make some thumbnails in the Castlefield place, which was a really, really good choice for this workshop, with a lot of bridges once again and overlapping things, with a lot of lines to work with. My first thumbnail was small and a bit crappy. I tried to use some colors, but it didn't work. This one is not great either, but with this one I started to catch the approach and to try to give some dynamism to a sketch, in and out lines, diagonal, to help the look to enter in the picture. I tried to add some people too, and to use these curves on the bridge. And then I really was in the mood of this thumbnail. It was really great to work with it, and I really like especially these two sketches. I tried to bend the perspective to get a sort of fisheye mood and to give a great dynamic to my sketches. So once again, there was a line like that, direction. I tried to use a lot this diagonal direction to give a great impression of the space. I was asking Veronica how this could be less flat. So Veronica drew some things on my sketchbook, especially this really cute boy, which was really, in the foreground, and it was to show me how a really big clothes thing on the foreground can be interesting to give a sense of depth. I think I have to work on that because I didn't manage, I think, to apply it in my sketches, but it was really interesting. Veronica gave me the advice to join my lines really well when you want to overlap two subjects, because when there are gaps, the overlapping maybe it's a bit messy and it's less good. And there were these sketches too. I think that I made 11 sketches in 1 hour, so I was really surprised to be so productive. That's a quick dynamic approach was really great. And Veronica was talking about being like a videoist or a photographer, reportage, changing the angles, the vantage points. And it was really interesting to work with several angles of the same view. For example, these stairs with the bridge, this is the same bridge, and the stairs I just sketched it previously, but from another side, and then you are almost on the bridge. So looking at the several sketches, she's right, it gives you a really good sense of the place, so it really inspired me.
But then I want all this activity of all these people. I'll just sit and collect them as they walk by. Or maybe I want to add arches on either side, solid here. I mean, you could really just sit and thumbnail and explore different ways of approaching the same thing.
And this is a view when we are under the tram railway, and really impressive too. It was a bit like this setting. I was thinking that Galwong card would be a great addition here with the arch and this really great architectural approach too. So I knew that when trying to add some colors in my sketch, I wouldn't be happy with it, because I know this is one of my problems, being able to use color when I use ink too. So I'm not really happy with this. Plus it was pouring rain, and we had to shelter, so maybe it was not the greatest vantage point to sketch. I tried hard not to put too much color, just to highlight the bridge and the boat and the passerbys, but I tried with a pencil and it didn't work. I did watercolor. For me, it was not really good, really good. And this one, I'm not sure what to think about it, but it was great to try and to work on it with Veronica. As I was not really happy with it, I wanted to make a really quick sketch only with ink before leaving. It was really quick, but it was great to finish with this one.
You get that little bit of exercise, and it's a visual, mental exercise that can wake you up and really allow you to see the place that you're drawing.
I was thinking that a KK card with this black and white amazing approach would be great on this page. And of course, the Manchester stamp was really great too, to add some great thing on the pages. As I like stamps, I like to add my date stamps on the page. So I like how these various things can add a travel diary feeling to the sketchbook. So the same day and the day later, I try to keep sketching with ink, to keep working on the approach. This one was a view from the Benzi building where we were often, and it was great to catch this view, but I couldn't find the same dynamic in this sketch than in the other ones. Maybe I prefer the vertical orientation, or maybe with the bridges and the curves it's maybe easier than this flat road. I drew a sort of monster just here, so I was sure I should find a card to paste in it, and the Ikkyung card was just perfect. I even managed to create a sort of fun pasting effect, and the letters on the card seem to keep going on the sketch. And Alvin Wong card was really great to add a bit of color of the page, and mine too. So by night we went to Chinatown and to sketch the Chinatown gate. And I was thinking of this approach, so I started to sketch it with ink, trying to bend the perspective once again, to draw the frame as I made during the Veronica workshop. And then I tried to sketch it again, trying to work on this problem, adding color to an ink sketch, or maybe rather using color on my ink sketches, but not for coloring. So here I used my acrylic markers again, but on white paper. And I think this meeting of the ink and the color works well here, so it's a great achievement for me. I am happy with it. Maybe the sort of quick scribbles or just really few elements are a good idea. And just where we were sketching, there were some Chinese newspaper stacking, so I decided to create a Chinatown gate sketch on the newspaper page. So it was really fun to do too. I enlarged this sketch and added a little character just there. It's on a new sort of paper. These are early morning sketch from the day after. Once again, I started with this ink-only approach, you know, trying to work again with the bridges, the dynamic lines which can lead the eye in the picture and so on. This was a messy try with some value added, but not so good. And then my idea for this day was to try to apply this dynamic approach with watercolor, of course. So I used some dry brush effects here to try to keep this dynamism in the sketches. So the idea is to use a brush, not too wet brush, so a bit dry brush, but you also have to paint really quickly to get interesting effects. So I think this dynamic one is not so bad, and I didn't have time to finish this one. It was less interesting in my opinion, but I kept going with this idea in Oxford Road again, and I definitely wanted to sketch a lot of these cranes because Manchester is full of these workers and things everywhere. So I made two sketches only with ink of the crane, you know, once again trying to bend the perspective, giving the impression that the sketch is a bit in a ball, in a sphere. And then I think this ink and watercolor, dry watercolor attempt is not so good, but the watercolor only energetic watercolor one is rather fun. There are some great effects, and maybe I should think about bending more the surrounding, the perspective, the subject when I use watercolor too. So great idea to work on once again. And it was the same morning again, really productive. With this approach, I tried to sketch the Palace Hotel again. That's the same building I sketches from the other side here. You can recognize maybe the tower with the green turquoise top. So we were on the other side of the road, and I started again with this ink sketch to think about, you know, they are not really thumbnails because I make them big, but for me these are sort of thumbnails about thinking about framing and composition and how to bend the perspective to give some more energy to the sketches. And then I tried to apply that with watercolor. The mood of the watercolor is different than usual because it's not really juicy, you know. Maybe it's more a sort of acrylic approach here. I even used some opaque color. This is a cadmium yellow orange. For the sky I used a juicy wash, and for the other elements more dry pigments, once again for the energy. All experimenting, you know. Thank you for watching, and see you for the next video.